Good morning, everybody joining us virtually. Thanks for stopping by. We've got a kind of a different kind of class going on today. We are going to be doing today a workshop on how to create what I like to call an open house smart plan. What we're going to end up doing by the end of this is we're going to have a tool where you can put somebody into your database on your phone at an open house as you're having a conversation with them, just their first name, last name, and their phone number, and then assign them a specific tag. And then as soon as you hit complete on that and they hit your database, what'll happen is command will register that the tag has been entered into your database and automatically put them on a smart plan that sends them a text of the open house property from your website. So instead of having to carry around flyers all the time now, by the end of this class, what you should have is basically a virtual open house flyer. And we'll go over how to build that, how to edit it later on, a whole bunch of things. So I'm going to jump right into it. If you guys have any questions throughout this, just shout out, stop me. If you want to put it in the chat or unmute, whichever works. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we're going to jump right into this. So starting off on the front page of command, what we need to do first is we need to go ahead and we need to, let me fix this really quickly. We need to go ahead and we need to create the tag, the correct tag for what we're doing. And in order to create tags in command for our contacts, what we need to do, we need to come over next to our name at the top of command, up in the top right corner. If you're on a team account, it should still say your name and then it should have parentheses team underneath. If you are on a team account, you might have issues creating tags depending on your options and accessibility. So for ease of this practice, for ease of this training, let's do everything in your personal accounts, okay? The one that doesn't have your team name associated with it. So we click down on our names and we're going to go ahead, we're going to select settings. Select settings, there we go. My computer is going, y'all. It's slower and slower every training I do. All right, so from here, from this page, we're going to come over to command settings and then contacts underneath that. And then we can see we have an option here, contacts tags. That's where we're going to want to go in order to create any more tags. So command settings, contacts, contact tags, we'll click on that one and it'll pull up this list. Now, these are all tags that I have created or that the system already put in place for me. And if you'd like, you can use one of these tags that the system's already used, but you have to be careful. For example, if you use the lead tag for this smart plan, then anytime somebody comes into your database from somewhere that command already registers as a lead, like a Facebook ad to your website, they're automatically going to put on the smart plan. So that's why it's generally best practice to go ahead and create a brand new tag by using the blue button up on the top right of that table there. So we're going to select create tag right there. We can put the name, the color. You guys can make this however you want. It just has to be something kind of unique, something that you guys will only use once for this smart plan, right? So I'm going to name mine open house trigger, just because that's the kind of smart plan that we're making. Open house trigger, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make it green because why not? And then we're going to go ahead, we're going to hit create. And I'll go ahead, these are all alphabetical and only allows you to view 1 to 10 at a time, but we can select more. So let's show all 50 of mine. And you can see here that now if I scroll down right there, I have a green open house trigger that I've made. Okay, so step 1 out of the way. We've created a tag, we've got it in our system now. And we can move on to step 2. Step 2 is we need to find the property of the open house that you guys are doing an open house on. So the easiest way we're going to do that is we're going to come all the way down to the consumer tab. It helps to already have the property address. So for example purposes, what I'm using today is 282 South Mockingbird Lane here in Abilene, Texas. If you guys have one that you're doing tomorrow or Sunday over this weekend, go ahead and use that. Or if you just have any listing at all, go ahead and use that. So we're going to go ahead and come down to consumer. From consumer, we're going to hit edit my website. This is going to pull us into the dashboard to build everything out. From here, we're going to go to our website using this check out your website here option. And then we can go ahead and search the property there. I've already pulled mine up ahead of class. So this is the property page on my website here. Now, the reason we're using our website and not like a Facebook post or an actual flyer we've made is because our website has a lot of cool tools built into it already that make it actually really massive value to the people that we send it out to. So not only do we have things like your property description here, it's also got, which every KW website on any property, if you have your website set up properly, this should have it, is you notice how this isn't my listing, but it will tell people who visit it through this website, through this URL that we're going to save, that I'm their agent. And so as I'm working this open house, if they, we have a great interaction, we leave, and then they're thinking to themselves a couple of days later, man, that agent was really good and I like that house. I want to reach back out to them and see what they can do for me. 9 times out of 10, they'll still have that web page open on their phone, so they can just open it back up and your name's going to be there along with the property that they were looking at, so that way they remember everything, right? So we've got your name, property description. We can see up here at the top there's also some other things. We've got a mortgage calculator built into every property in Command. Okay, so they can get in here, your clients can, and they can fiddle around with changing the aspects of their payments, of their down payment, their loan type, interest rate, things like that. We've got price and tax history here on the property. So again, more information for your clients. And then at the very bottom, again, if they like this open house, but let's say it gets taken before they reach out to you again, there's more in the area if they want to look into it, right? There's nearby school information, transit and commune information, and then a whole list of similar properties down at the bottom, right? So our website is a pretty awesome tool, and that's why we're going to want to use it here, okay? So we're going to go ahead, and what we're going to want to do is we're just going to highlight up there at the very top of your browser the URL, okay? The text string of just random numbers and things that tells the website where to go to on the internet. We're going to copy that. I use Control-C. If you hold Control and hit C, it'll copy things. You guys can also just right click on it and use the copy function. Okay. All right. So now we've got our tag trigger and we've got our property. All right. So from here, we are ready to actually get into SmartPlans and start building. So let's go back to commands. I'm going to come back to my agent sites page and we're going to go up to SmartPlans. And from here, we're actually going to start building. So we want to go ahead. My Zoom is blocking the button. There we go. We're going to go ahead. We're going to hit create to start building one. We're going to enter in the name. Mine is going to be open house flyer. The liar. There we go. All right. Create plan. All right. So how we make this plan is actually really, really simple. All it is it's just a text we put into day one, because that's all it is. If we put that text into day one, that text is going to go out as soon as possible. As soon as the smart plan gets started, which again, if we set up the triggers, is going to be as soon as they get added to our database, right? So we're going to click on send text over on the left. We're going to drag it into the middle into day one where it says drop a step here. We're going to release. And then there we go. Now we have over on the right there, we have the details for how we can edit this text, right? So it'll be sending an automated text because we want to make it an automatic thing. Text type is going to be static. The difference between static and dynamic, I've gone over this before in SmartPlans, but we'll brush over it again because maybe this is something you want to do to add to it. Static and dynamic basically just means that if you put multiple people on a smart plan, let's say you have 5 people, but you know that 2 of them are husband and wife and are, sitting beside each other at the end of the day. You don't want both of those people getting the same text necessarily, because then they're just going to think that they're part of the machine, right? That they're just in the system. None of us like getting those texts from big blockchain stores where it's dear valued customer, right? Real estate is a business that's built on relationships. and we want to facilitate that. So dynamic allows you to create, if we click on it here, we'll see, it allows us to create a couple of different text options. I think you can create up to 6. And those will go out to the people in your database that you put on the smart plan. So it gives them a little bit of flavor. For this, like I said, we don't really need that. We can just do static. But if you want to get extra fancy with this, the dynamic option is there. So what do we want this actual text to say? Well, generally, all it needs to say is, hey there, or some greeting. Some people don't like the way I talk, I've been told in other training. So, hey there, hello, nice to see you. Thanks for coming to my open house. We're going to say, hey there. Thanks for coming to my open house. Please view the online property flyer here. Can you guys tell that the R key on my keyboard doesn't work? Flyer, and it's not property, it's property. There we go. Property, flyer here. I'm going to put a colon, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down the control key and I'm going to push V, because that pastes what we had. And we still had our URL from the website copied to our clipboard, right? So view the online property flyer here. It's going to link them to our website with the property. And then that's really all we have to do. Now that's bare basic minimum for what the text can say. If you guys want to spruce it up, if you want to use some merge tags where you can add in contact first name, you know, so that way it says, hey there, Joe, for Joe Smith when you get his contact information, right? All of that can work too. You can add in your agent first name, last name as well. Don't worry about that saying my Twilio account is not connected. I'll show you guys how to do that at the end of all of this. And then when should this text be sent? Day 1, immediately. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. We want to get them to get it as soon as possible. So once we've got all of this set up, we're just going to go ahead. We're going to hit add step. And that is that. Now, this is just day 1. We want to go ahead. We want to select off of day 1 now. Just like click the gray area in the middle of the screen here. And it's at this point that we can save the plan and begin to add trigger tags. You need to hit save plan before it allows you to add trigger tags because it needs to make sure there's content there. So from this point, we're going to add trigger tags and we're going to find that one that we built earlier. Mine was open house trigger. There we go. Select that one. Add triggers. You can select up to 10 triggers as well. So we can use this same function later on. We'll talk about how we can get more usage out of this function at the end of the training. And then since this is just a day 1 send text and that's it, we don't really have to worry about anything else. And that is it. That is the smart plan built. So now you've got the tool. Okay. So let's go ahead. We'll save that plan and we're going to get out of here. And I'm just going to show you guys how to use this plan. So I'm going to exit out of Smart Plans, and I'm going to go over to my Contacts tab, the second icon from the top in Command Contacts. So how that trigger tag works is when you create a contact or when you add a tag to an existing contact, it'll automatically trigger the Smart Plan. So let me go ahead and add a contact here. I'm running out of fake names, so we're just going to make up something. We're going to use Sue Storm. I'm at Sue Storm at my open house. I'm having a conversation with her. Ideally, the way I recommend we use this tool is we do it from the command app on our phone because we can add contacts there on the fly. So it would be really quick to just, as somebody walks in and say, hey, how you doing? Can I get your information, just your first name, your last name, and your phone number real quick so that way I can send you the online open house flyer? And they're going to go, wow, yeah, that'd be cool. Unless you get somebody who's like 180 and they don't want to use their cell phone, in which case they're probably going to say, no, give me a paper one. So, you know, just be warned, those people exist in our area, guys. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to enter in a phone number here. 325-555-5555. And we're going to go ahead and tag them. Open house trigger. So I actually don't know if that phone number is real. If it is, it's okay because I don't have Twilio set up yet. But once we hit create on this, what will happen is the contact gets created. So boom, step one, we've got a new lead in our database, and that's awesome. Step two, about 30 to 60 seconds later, so about a minute to a minute and a half later, their phone is going to buzz, and it's going to be an automated text from your Twilio number saying, hey there, thanks for coming to my open house. Here's the property description, and it's going to have a clickable link. They're going to open that, they're going to click on it, and they're going to be able to scroll through on their phone. It might take them to download the app. If they already have the app, even better. It might open them in Chrome. It depends on your phone settings, but they can scroll through now how awesome the house is for them, the property description, that whole page that we have set up for them, just like that. And it's going to look like magic, really. So that's how we use the tool. That's how we make the tool. One thing I'm going to go over really quickly before we move on to other things that we could do with this is I'm going to show you guys how to set up your Twilio. So the easiest way to set that up is if we go back to our settings tab. Settings automatically drops us off on what's called the integrations and applications tab. You can see here more integrations we can get, applications, what we have connected already. Scroll all the way to the bottom of this page, and Twilio is down there. Now we're going to select subscribe in marketplace. It's going to take us out of command really quick. It's going to ask you to buy now. Now there's a couple of different plans. And all the plans use what's called credits. Now, credit is just a 140 character text message, if I remember correctly. So for example, to use, and I think the max you can send is a 3 credit text message. So 480 or something like that, 460. You have limited text characters, just like a tweet, right? But it's how many credits you buy that allows you to send out a certain amount of text messages. So that text that I made there for that, it's pretty short and sweet. Not that many characters in it. I didn't count, but we could probably get away with using the extra small or the small available plan, right? XS or S, up to 600, up to 300, because it's not going to be very credit heavy. If you guys are using lots of text messaging in your smart plans, you guys might want to move for the medium or the large, because we can view all plans. We can see there's more. Medium or large. And if you guys are really using smart plans at a high level, then you should already have Twilio, and you should be using the XL, XXL, or XXXL up to 15,000 credits. So you guys will select buy now, and then all you'll have to do is enter in your payment information. I'm not going to do that on live video. Sorry, guys. So you'll select which one you want. Like I said, I can get away with that extra small. We'll hit continue. It'll bring us to the next page. Billing details, like I said, not gonna do that. It's okay. Confirm order, order receipt. Now it's very important though that we're not done here. Your Twilio account isn't set up after you purchase it. You'll pay for it, but it's not set up. You need to come back after you make your Twilio account to console settings, and this button won't say subscribe in marketplace. It'll say either connect or manage. And when you click on that, it's at that point that it asks you to pick a random 325 phone number, because unfortunately we can't use your phone number already because of how the app Twilio is set up. It uses non-existing phone numbers to automatically send out phone messages. Sorry. So you'll have to select a new one. But counterpoint is that if you guys have set up in your marketing profiles, which if you've been to Command Classroom or just even had a training with me, your marketing profile should be set up properly. Your marketing profiles should have your phone number in them somewhere already, and Command goes and finds that and then talks to Twilio. And so if a message comes into the Twilio phone number, Twilio just passes it straight along to your phone number. So you can keep text messaging from your phone. You don't need to only do it from the app. Don't need to download the Twilio app or anything on your phone. Text messages come straight to your cell phone if you've got your phone number in your marketing profile. So once you have Twilio set up, that's the only real, hiccup in the smart plan is you need to have the automatic text messaging set up. Once that's done, you are set to go with this smart plan. So that's how we use a trigger to create an open house flyer getting sent automatically to our clients. Now, some other things we could do with that trigger, really, there's like no limits. I've done it where just do lead follow-up. Somebody comes into your database from anywhere, any kind of event, and you can put them on basically an 8x8 at that point, right? And get them going through the steps of cultivating them and nurturing them and making them a client full time, even if you just met them offhand, right? It's just all about that automation, making your lives easier, and just building up from there. So now that you guys know how to do that, hopefully you were tagging along, playing along with me and built this too. If you didn't, the recording is going to go live probably Monday. I'll try and get it out today, but more than likely Monday. And yeah, that's the workshop for today, guys. Do we have any questions? Anybody in the chat here? Nope, nothing in the chat. Do we have any questions from you guys online? Any questions? Nope. Awesome. All right. Well, if there are no questions, then happy Friday, y'all. Thanks for showing up. I'm glad that we could learn something. And I hope you guys go and build something like this or something similar, something better, and hope to hear what you guys do with it. Catch you next time.